Possessive adjectives. What is a possessive adjective? A possessive adjective, or un aggettivo possessivo, describes who something belongs to or the relationship between people by modifying a noun. For example, if you want to say something like my book, okay, we'll just use the masculine singular noun libro, which means book. So if you want to say my book, you would say il mio libro, okay, or your book, il tuo libro. His, her, your, il suo libro. Our, il nostro libro. Your, plural, il vostro libro. And their, masculine, feminine, or your, plural, in the formal, you'd say il loro libro. Okay, I'll give you some more examples after, but just wanted to give you a quick one here. Okay. Do possessive adjectives agree with the speaker or the noun that they're describing? Well, what do you think? All of these end in an O. Okay, so are they describing the person who it belongs to, or are they describing the noun? The noun, right? So they must agree in gender and number with the noun they're describing. Okay, so all of these end in an O because they match up with libro. For example, if you want to say my masculine friend is fantastic, you would say il mio amico è fantastico. Okay, so if you notice, il mio matches with amico, regardless of if it's a woman saying that or a group of people. You would still match it with amico. Okay. If you want to say my feminine friend is fantastic, instead you would say la mia amica è fantastica. Okay, so once again, mia is it changes to match amica. Okay, and also quick note, fantastica also changes to match with amica. Okay, so everything kind of lines up here. I miei amici sono fantastici. Okay, is if you're saying my masculine plural friends are fantastic. So again, I miei matches with amici, and fantastici also matches with amici. And finally, if you want to say my feminine plural friends are fantastic, you would use this form. Le mie amiche sono fantastiche. Okay, and you can also hear it when you read it out loud or when you say it out loud. It all kind of flows together because they all have the same endings. Okay, here these all end in an E, for example. So le mie amiche sono fantastiche. Okay, the only one that's an outlier here is the verb. Okay, what are the other forms of possessive adjectives? Okay, so I just gave you one example on the slide before here, so we'll just go over all of the different options so you know what they are. Okay, so if your noun is masculine singular and you want to say my, you would use il mio. Okay, so il is the definite article and you'd use the possessive adjective mio. If it's masculine plural, you would say I miei. If it's feminine singular, you'd use la mia. And if it's feminine plural, you'd say le mie. Okay, if you want to say your, you would say il tuo, I tuoi, la tua, or le tue. His or her, his, her, or your formal singular are all the same, okay? So just that it's capitalized here. So il suo, I suoi, la sua, or le sue. Okay, all the same here. Then we have our, il nostro, I nostri, la nostra, and le nostre. Your, plural, il vostro, I vostri, la vostra, le vostre. And their, masculine or feminine, or your, formal plural, is all il loro, I loro, la loro, and le loro. Okay, just that these are capitalized. So you'll notice that all these endings here match up. Okay, they all end in an O here. These all end in an I, these end in an A, and these end in an E. The only one that doesn't is loro. Okay, loro doesn't change. So just remember that. Okay. Do you always need an article before a possessive adjective? Good question. No, there are some exceptions. Okay, so the following do not need an article. When addressing a person directly, okay, you do not need the article. So if you want to say something like, Ciao, mia amica, hello, my friend, you don't need the article, okay? Or if you want to say something like, Buongiorno, signor Da Vinci, good morning, Mr. Da Vinci, you do not need the article before addressing somebody, signor, okay? Or when describing singular family members. Okay, I know these rules are a little bit odd, but I wanted to let you know what they are. So, mia sorella vive vicino. My sister lives nearby, okay, is one example. So there's no article here. You just say mia. You do not say la mia sorella. You'd say mia sorella vive vicino. Likewise, if you want to say, where is your brother? Dove tuo fratello? Okay, again, no article needed here. But just to confuse you a little bit more, there are 3 exceptions which do require a definite article even when describing singular family members. Okay, so the first rule here is if the subject pronoun is loro or loro capitalized. For example, il loro cugino visita spesso. Their cousin visits often. Okay, in this case, because you're using loro, you do need the article. Number 2, for warmer family names, i.e., la mia mamma, il mio papà, okay, my mom, my dad, il mio babbo, il mio figliolo, my son, or la mia figliola, daughter. Okay, or number 3, for modified nouns. So a modified noun would be if you have an adjective describing the noun. For example, il mio nipote americano would be a modified noun. So my American grandson or nephew. Okay, both of those mean, or nipote means both of those. So in this case, you do need the definite article with it. Okay, so don't worry if you don't remember all of these rules. Okay, they are very confusing and hard to remember. Go over this slide a bit, and eventually you'll get it.